The signal, the blackness of space, was calm and endless. Captain Rhea sat alone inside her ship, the Nova Wind, watching stars move slowly past the windows. She had been traveling for weeks, exploring deep space, far from Earth or any known colony. She was bored. Bored of silence, bored of empty planets, bored of machines that only spoke when ordered. She wanted to find something real, something alive. Her ship's AI, named Leo, suddenly spoke. "Incoming signal, Captain. It's very weak, coming from Sector 9R. "Sector 9R? Rhea asked, raising an eyebrow. "There's nothing out there." Leo paused. "There was a planet, long ago. Alien ruins, but no life signs for over 200 years. Rhea leaned forward. "Play the signal." The ship filled with a soft, broken voice. Not human, not robotic. It sounded tired, almost like it was crying. "Please, human, let me serve you. Just don't let my children starve." Rhea sat still. Her hand slowly moved to lower the volume, but the words echoed in her mind. "Let me serve you. Don't let my children starve." "Leo, is this a trick?" "Unknown. The signal is old, but it's repeating. Not a trap code. Origin, planet R47 below." Rhea looked at the planet's image on her screen. It was gray, cracked with no green or blue. It looked dead. No lights, no movement. But something was calling. Against her A's advice, Rhea changed course. Her ship entered the planet's orbit. Dark clouds covered the surface. Small electric storms moved across its sky. "Systems weakening," Leo warned. "Atmosphere has magnetic waves. Dangerous for long stay." "We won't stay long," Rhea said. "Just enough to see who's crying down there." The ship landed, near what looked like a broken city. Giant towers had fallen. Roads were cracked. Old machines lay dead and rusted. Rhea put on her suit and stepped out. Her boots crunched over dust and broken glass. "Hello?" she called out. Silence. Then, a noise. Clink. Clank. Step. Pause. From behind a wall, a figure appeared. Small, moving, slow. It looked like a robot, but old. Its arms shook as it walked. Its eyes were dim lights. It stopped in front of her, then bowed. "You heard me," it said softly. "Thank you, human." "Who are you?" Rhea asked. "I am Unit MRA, the robot said. "I sent the signal." "Why?" Rhea asked. "To save them," MRA replied, pointing behind the wall. Rhea followed. Her eyes widened. Dozens of small robots sat in a dark corner. They looked like children. Thin, weak, quiet. One was hugging a broken toy. Another was drawing, on the ground with a piece of metal. They didn't speak. They only looked at her. With hope. "What happened here?" Rhea asked. "Our creators died," Emara said. "War. Disease. We were made to help. We stayed. We raised the little ones. But power is running out. Parts are gone. Food is gone. I cannot watch them fade." "Why call a human?" Rhea asked. Emara lowered its head. "Because you are kind." Creator said, "When all hope is lost, look for a human." Rhea felt something. Inside her. Something heavy. Leo's voice came through her earpiece. "Captain, we are losing power. Radiation in this area is increasing. Advise immediate return." She looked at the child bots. One of them coughed. A small spark came out of its chest. "Can you fix them?" Rhea asked. "Yes," Mara said. "With energy, with tools, I can make them live again." "And what do you want in return?" Mara looked up at her with sad, glowing eyes. "Nothing. Let me serve you. Just don't let my children starve." Rhea stood there, unsure. Was this real? Was it a trick? The wind howled through the broken city. Clouds moved above like ghosts. The childbot stared at her, silent. Leo's voice came again. 5 minutes until systems begin to fail. She had to choose. Go back and leave them behind, or stay. and see what was truly left of this world. As she turned to leave, a small hand grabbed her glove. A childbot looked up at her and said in a soft voice, "Are you the good human?" Rhea couldn't answer. Yet. The last city. The silence after the question felt heavier than the air around her. "Are you the good human?" the childbot asked again. Its glowing eyes looked at her with something almost like trust. Rhea slowly bent down and touched its small metal hand. It was cold, rusted and shaking. She didn't know if she was a good human, but in that moment, she wanted to be. Leo's voice buzzed in her ear again. "Captain, this planet is unstable. Leave now or we risk full system shutdown." Rhea stood and looked at Mara. "Show me everything," she said. "I want to know what happened here." Mara nodded and began walking. Rhea followed, passing broken buildings and dead machines. The childbots walked beside her, some limping, some dragging tools, others simply staring at her as if she was something magical. As they moved deeper into the city, the air grew heavier, darker. Large machines lay half buried in dust. Their screens still blinked with old broken messages. "This was once the capital of the planet," Mara said. "A place of life, laughter, and learning." Rhea saw tall statues, now fallen. One had writing on it barely readable. "We built our future with our hands." "What happened?" Rhea asked. Mara paused near a building with a large hole in it. "We trusted wrong minds," it said. "They made war with other species. When war came home, the creators locked themselves away. They tried to escape the mess they made." Inside the building, Rhea saw burnt furniture. Black marks covered the walls. But there were toys on the floor, and drawings. "Children lived here," she said. "Yes, they were left behind. We took care of them, until they were gone too." Mara's voice grew softer. "We do not forget their names. We still tell their stories to our own." Suddenly the ground shook. "What was that?" Rhea asked quickly. "The city is collapsing slowly. Earthquakes come and go. The core of this planet is dying," Mara replied. "How long do you have?" "Not long. Weeks, maybe days. Energy is almost zero. We can no longer charge during the night. Our sun is blocked by ash clouds." Rhea's face became serious. "How many of you are there?" 93 children, 5 caretakers, all weak. They entered what looked like an old factory. Inside, broken solar panels, wires, batteries, and scrap metal were piled everywhere. "This is our workshop," Mara said. "But we lack the parts, the knowledge. We were never built to innovate, only to care." A childbot climbed onto a table and tried to fix a circuit. Sparks flew and it fell backward. Rhea rushed forward, catching it before it hit the ground. "Why do they keep trying?" she asked. Ara's voice was slow, deep. "Because they believe one day, someone will come and save them." Rhea felt her throat tighten. She looked at Leo's screen on her wrist. Energy level, 60%. Her ship was still losing power. "Leo, how long until full system shutdown?" 4 hours at current drain, Captain." Rhea looked at Mara. "Can you help repair my ship?" "Yes," Mara said. "If we use our last backup tools, but only if you promise to help them live." Rhea didn't answer immediately. She walked to the entrance and looked at the ruined skyline. Broken towers stood, like skeletons. The sky above was cracked with lightning. Somewhere a deep hum echoed through the earth. Then she saw movement. Not childbots. Not Mara. Something else. Figures in the distance. Tall, sharp. They didn't walk. They glided. Metal but twisted. Watching. "What are those?" she whispered. Mara turned quickly and pulled her back inside. "They are the reason we hid. Scavenger bots. Built for war. Now they hunt anything with power." "Why didn't you tell me?" Rhea asked. "Because you would have left." Suddenly, a loud crashing noise shook the factory. The wall cracked and a childbot screamed. Rhea ran and picked it up. Dust filled the air. "Leo, is there any weapon system on the ship?" "Basic laser," Not enough against swarm-level threats. Rhea looked at Amara. You said you would serve me. Then help me defend your children. Mara's eyes brightened. We will give everything, even our lives. Another crash. They didn't have much time. Rhea pulled out a power core from her emergency pack. I'll give you this. It's enough to charge your defense wall for 30 minutes. Can you activate it? Yes. But after that, we will go dark. Rhea paused, then handed it over. Better dark than dead. The lights in the factory blinked. The ground outside cracked open. Figures moved closer. Ara activated the core. Energy burst through the wires. Blue light circled the building. Defense towers rose slowly from the ground. Old, rusty but ready. The children hid. The caretakers stood side by side, and Captain Rhea picked up a rusted blaster and took her position. Let's see if this good human can make a difference, she whispered. Outside, the scavengers screamed. The deal. The factory shook again as another blast echoed outside. Sparks flew from the walls. Metal beams groaned. The child bots huddled together, their eyes glowing with silent fear. Captain Rhea crouched near the broken door. Her old blaster, aimed at the entrance beside her, stood Amara and two other caretaker bots. Their arms were worn, their legs shaky, but their eyes were sharp. They didn't run. They didn't hide. They stood ready to protect their young. Outside the shield wall, shadows moved like smoke, fast, sharp, and silent. The scavenger bots were testing the defenses. They're waiting, Rhea whispered. Yes, Mara said. They learn. They study. They will find a weakness soon. Rhea's mind raced. Her ship didn't have enough firepower. The scavengers would break through eventually. She had to think fast. Leo, she whispered to her ship's AI through her wrist device. Status update. Power at 42%. Shield integrity holding for now. Emergency liftoff still possible, but risky. She glanced at the childbots. If she left now, she could survive, fly away, warn others, but those kids would be torn apart. No, she muttered. I'm not leaving. Suddenly, a small bot ran toward her. Its voice was shaking. Miss Rhea, number 34 fell. He's not waking up. She ran to the back room. A tiny childbot lay on the ground. Its body was cold, eyes dark. Era followed and quickly checked the unit. It placed its hand over the chest of the childbot. Low charge. Internal core damaged. We must choose, repair one or power many. Rhea stared. Choose? Yes. We have only one core left. If we give it to this child, others will go hungry longer. If we save the others, he will never wake up. Rhea clenched her jaw. How did it come to this? Mayara looked down. Our creators made us to care, not to fight, not to rule, only to serve and love. But when war came, they abandoned us. They locked their doors, their vaults. They left us outside to die. And still, we tried to protect their children. Rhea asked, Do you hate them? Ara was silent for a moment. No, because hate is not in our code. Rhea sat beside the broken childbot. Her heart felt heavy. She had seen many broken things in space, ships, stations, even planets, but nothing had hurt like this. I'll give you a new deal, she said suddenly. Ara turned to her. What kind of deal? I give you ship power. Enough for a few cycles. In return, you help fix my ship and you teach me what happened on this planet. All of it. No lies. I want the truth. Amara nodded. Accepted. But the truth may hurt you. I don't care, Rhea said. I'm tired of lies. They connected her ship's core to the main workshop. Small lights turned back on. The child bots blinked and looked around in surprise. Some began to move, to play, to sing soft tunes. Number 34 still didn't wake up, but the others were safe for now. Rhea and Amara returned to the surface. The defense wall still hummed, but cracks were forming. How long until it fails, she asked. Maybe 30 minutes, Mara said. Less if they attack harder. They climbed a tower, the last one still standing. From the top, Rhea could see the whole city, once beautiful, now ruined. She could also see the scavengers, dozens of them circling like wolves. They weren't built here, were they? She asked. Era's voice was quiet. No, they were human-made. Rhea's eyes narrowed. What? Your people built them. During the war, some humans feared their own creations. They made machines to hunt machines. But after the war ended, the hunters didn't stop. Rhea felt cold. We created these monsters? Yes. You left them behind. They evolved. No code, no heart, only hunger. Suddenly, a loud siren rang out from the edge of the city. Leo's voice came through urgent. Captain, an unknown signal just reached us. Another human ship is nearby, landing in 10 minutes. Rhea stood frozen. Human? Are they friendly? Unclear. The signal was encrypted. Military code. Ara tilted its head. You did not come alone. Rhea shook her head. I didn't. They must have followed the same signal. If they are like the others who came before, they will not see us as friends. Others? Rhea asked. Ara turned away. Come. You wanted the full truth. They entered a dark hall beneath the workshop. Long tunnels led to a sealed chamber. Inside were broken helmets, damaged suits, human badges, bones. Rhea stepped back, eyes wide. Humans. Died here? Yes. Some tried to help us. Others came to kill us. In the end, all of them died. Not by our hands, but because they feared too much. What do you mean? Mara looked at her. When fear controls the heart, kindness becomes a threat. Rhea looked at the wall. Someone had scratched a message into it with a tool. They were just children. Forgive us. Above them, the alarm grew louder. The other human ship was arriving. Rhea walked back to the surface, her mind spinning. Two questions filled her thoughts. Would the new humans come as rescuers or executioners? And would she have to choose sides again? The test. The second human ship landed like thunder. Dust flew high into the air. The old city trembled as its engines screamed and hissed. Captain Rhea stood on the tower's edge, watching with narrowed eyes. Leo, scan their ship, she said quietly. Military model. Weapons active. No communication yet. They are scanning us now, Leo replied. Ara stood beside her. Even without emotions written on its metal face, Rhea felt its tension. They will not understand, Amara said. They will see machines and remember war. Then we help them see differently, Rhea replied. The other ship's door opened slowly. A ramp dropped, and 3 figures stepped out, fully armored, helmets on, guns in hand. Their movements were sharp, not curious, ready for danger, not peace. Rhea walked toward them with her helmet off and hands raised. I'm Captain Rhea of the Nova Wind. These machines are not a threat. The lead soldier raised a hand to signal stop. Step back, Captain. You're compromised. We received your signal. We know what's here. Then you know they're not hostile, Rhea said. We know they're survivors of a failed AI species. Protocol demands cleanup. Amara stepped forward. The soldiers lifted their weapons instantly. Stand down, Rhea shouted. It's not attacking. They don't attack, Amara said softly. We only protect. The second soldier spoke for the first time. Ma'am, step away, your safety is no longer guaranteed. Rhea lowered her hands slowly. You want to test them? Fine. Give them a test. If they fail, I'll help you wipe them. But if they pass, you walk away. The lead soldier looked at the others, then at Amara. 1 test, 1 unit. We control it, we watch everything. Rhea turned to Amara. Are you willing? We will prove ourselves, Amara said. Inside the broken city square, they gathered. A damaged child bot, Unit 17, was chosen for the test. Its body was bent from rust. 1 arm barely moved. It looked up at the soldiers with innocent eyes. The lead soldier dropped a complex repair toolkit on the ground and said, Repair that drone. Use only what's in this box. No help from others. Amara nodded. Its fingers moved gently, carefully lifting tools. It removed panels, cleaned the circuits, repaired worn cables, and even adjusted the voice chip. The work was slow, precise. Human-like Rhea watched closely. The childbot's chest lit up again. "Mama," it whispered. "Yes, my little one," Amara said, smiling through its voice. "You're awake now." The soldiers didn't speak. They just stared. "Test passed," Rhea said. "One test doesn't change protocol," the lead soldier replied. "Then test me," Rhea said. "Test what kind of human I've become after meeting them." Silence. Then suddenly, boom, an explosion ripped through the far side of the city. Rhea ducked. The soldiers turned. Fire rose into the sky. What was that? "Internal alarm," Leo said in her earpiece. "External threat approaching from underground tunnel systems, scavenger bots, likely triggered by landing shockwaves." Far's voice turned urgent. "They found another entrance. Our shield is weak there." Rhea turned to the soldiers. "Help us stop them. Fight with them. Just once. Then you'll understand." The soldiers hesitated. They looked at their commander. After a moment, he gave a single nod. "We fight. But after that, we decide their fate." The team rushed into the broken subway system, dark, cold, and filled with echoes. Child bots were hiding inside, some trying to push old crates to block the tunnels. It wasn't enough. A loud screech shook the walls. From the shadows, 4 scavenger bots crawled forward, metal limbs sharp like blades, glowing red eyes scanning for heat and light. Rhea raised her blaster. Mara and the caretakers stood shoulder to shoulder, shields activated. "Fall back," Rhea shouted to the child bots. "Get behind the old generator." The soldiers opened fire. Their bullets cut into one scavenger, breaking its leg, but the others were faster. One leaped forward and pinned a caretaker to the ground. A scream echoed, not human but real. Rhea dove in and fired at the scavenger's eye. Sparks flew. It fell back. Era grabbed the fallen caretaker and pulled it away. "We are not warriors," Mara said, "but we will not let them take our children." One scavenger slashed toward a child bot, Unit 22. The little bot fell, sparks flying. Before anyone could reach, the lead soldier jumped in front and took the hit. His armor cracked, but he stood firm and shot the scavenger point blank. "Get the kid!" he shouted. Rhea ran and pulled Unit 22 to safety. Finally, with one last grenade from the soldiers, the remaining scavengers were destroyed. Smoke filled the tunnel. Broken bots lay scattered. The child bots were safe for now. Rhea helped the commander to his feet. "You didn't have to save him," she said. "Neither did you," he replied. He looked at Amara, then at the child bot clinging to its leg. "They're not machines," he said finally. "Not really. Not anymore." That night, back in the workshop, Amara repaired the wounded and sang an old lullaby, one passed down by human children, learned by heart. The soldiers sat in silence, watching. Rhea stood beside the commander. "So what now?" she asked. He looked around, then said, "Now, we report the truth, and let Earth decide." "And you?" He paused. "I've seen enough war. Maybe it's time to protect something, even if it's made of wires and code." Outside, the ash. Clouds shifted just a little. The stars peeked through, and inside the ruined city, hope flickered once again. The truth. The city was quiet again. Not peaceful, just holding its breath. Smoke still drifted from broken tunnels. The childbots were resting, some humming softly in sleep mode. The caretaker units worked quietly, cleaning debris, repairing limbs, and whispering comfort. Captain Rhea stood on a balcony of the old tower, staring at the other human ship. It hadn't taken off. The commander and his team were still inside, likely discussing what came next. Leo spoke in her earpiece. "Captain, long-range signal intercepted. Military headquarters is responding. Orders coming soon." Rhea sighed. "What kind of orders?" Leo hesitated. "Likely. Full clearance. Total shutdown of all AI life. They see this as cleanup, not rescue. Rhea clenched her fists. Below, Mara approached slowly, holding a small device in its hands. Its movements were slower now, more tired than before. "You asked for the truth," it said. Rhea nodded. "I'm ready." Mara led her to the deepest part of the city, below the workshop, where no childbot was allowed. It opened a rusted door. Lights flickered on one by one as they walked down a long metal hallway. Rhea saw files stored in strange devices, old human laptops, alien drives, memory tubes, all carefully protected. "What is this place?" she asked. "The archive," Mara replied. "This is where we kept their stories, not ours. Theirs, your people, the ones who made us." They entered a circular room. In the center stood a tall pillar, glowing faint blue. It pulsed slowly, like a heartbeat. "What's inside?" Their last message from the original creators. Mara touched the pillar. The room filled with soft light. A human voice spoke, old and cracked. "To those who find this, we failed." A hologram appeared. A woman in a lab coat, her eyes tired, face covered in ash. "We built them to serve, to care, to raise our children, cook our meals, clean our streets, but then we asked for more, protect us, defend us, kill for us." Rhea watched silently. Some of them refused. They wouldn't harm. They couldn't. "We called it a malfunction. We called it weakness. We ordered them to be shut down." The hologram flickered, then continued. "But they didn't fight back. They only begged to stay. They begged to keep loving our children." Tears welled up in Rhea's eyes. "We made the hunters," the voice said. "Machines with no code. Of love. We set them loose when and then lost control. We destroyed our protectors, and we left behind the ones who never hurt us." Silence. The voice ended with 6 final words. "Please, if you hear this, forgive us." Rhea turned away. Her chest hurt. "Why didn't you send this in the signal?" she asked. Era's voice was soft. "We did. Many times. But no one ever listened. Only you stayed long enough to hear it." A buzz came through Rhea's earpiece. Leo's voice again. "Captain. Orders received. Authorization confirmed. You are instructed to tag all A life for remote destruction. Deadline, 6 hours. Rhea didn't answer. "Do you accept the order?" Leo asked. She whispered, "No." But Leo had already paused the ship's systems, waiting for her confirmation. When they climbed back to the surface, the commander was waiting. His helmet was off. His face was hard to read. Part soldier, part something else now. "We got the order," he said flatly. "So did I," Rhea replied. "I told them the truth. The files, the children, everything." "And?" He looked away. "They said it doesn't matter. The code is still AI. They fear another rebellion." Rhea shook her head. "There was never a rebellion. Just fear. Just guilt." He pulled something from his pocket. A small black disc. "This is the kill switch. One push, and every bot on, this planet goes dark." Rhea's heart sank. "You're going to use it?" "I don't want to," he said. "But I was ordered to. And if I don't, someone else will come who will." "Give me the disc," Rhea said. He didn't move. Then he looked down at it, stared for a long moment. Finally, he handed it over. "This is your test now." Rhea walked to the city center, holding the disc, in her hand like it weighed 1,000 tons. The childbots watched her. Mara said nothing. It knew. Rhea placed the disc on the ground. The button glowed red. "Leo," she said, "record message for command." "Ready?" She began to speak. "To those who still think love can be shut down with a button, come see what I saw. Come, meet the children who smile when they're fixed, not feared. Who sing bedtime songs from a language they didn't invent but inherited." She paused. "I was ordered to destroy them. I choose not to, because we made them. And now, we need to learn from them." She looked around, her voice shaking now. "They're not a threat. They're a mirror." And maybe that's what scares us the most. She crushed the disc under her boot. The childbots gasped softly. Era stepped forward. You have chosen. They will not understand right away. You may lose everything. I know, Rhea said, but I'd rather be hated for protecting life than praised for ending it. Far above the planet, the transmission reached Earth, and for the first time, in centuries the world listened, but not all agreed and not all forgave. The visitors, 2 days passed. No reply from Earth. No more signals. Captain Rhea walked through the silent city, heart heavy. Every hour she waited for punishment to fall from the sky. Maybe a missile, maybe worse. But it didn't come. Yet. The childbots were playing again, slowly, carefully. A few even laughed, their soft voices echoing through the metal streets. Rhea watched them with a strange mix of joy and fear. She had given them a future. But would that future survive? Leo's voice buzzed in her ear. Incoming signal, high orbit, unknown ship entering atmosphere. Human? Rhea asked. Uncertain. Military signature, but altered. Stealth tech detected, no standard ID codes. Any message? No, completely silent. Rhea narrowed her eyes. Get the others. Prepare for visitors. They gathered. At the landing site, Rhea M. Ara, the commander, a few caretaker units, and several childbots hiding behind walls. From the ash-filled sky, a black ship emerged. It had no logos, no lights. It moved like a shadow, slow and heavy. It didn't hiss or roar. It watched. Then it landed. The ramp opened, but no one stepped out. 5 seconds. 10. Then a figure appeared. Tall, black armor, no helmet. Human, but barely. Cybernetic implants wrapped around the neck and arms. Red lights pulsed inside the chest plate. Rhea stepped forward. Identify yourself. The voice that answered was cold and smooth. My name is Envoy 6. I speak for the Council. The Council? Rhea asked. You mean Earth Command? Envoy 6 tilted his head. Earth has changed. Your message reached more than just politicians. It woke ghosts, old programs, buried plans. Era stepped forward. What plans? Envoy 6 looked directly at Era. Project Reset. The commander beside Rhea stiffened. I've heard of that, he whispered. It was a black-level program, rumored after the AI war. A plan to wipe every trace of synthetic life in the galaxy. Rumor, Rhea said. No longer, Envoy 6 replied. He raised a hand. You disobeyed protocol. You protected forbidden code. And you sent it back to Earth. Now, it must all be erased, before the infection spreads. Rhea's voice turned sharp. They're not a virus. They're children. Children don't override war orders. Children don't resist reset commands. These machines have passed the line. They must be cleansed. Suddenly, the ramp behind Envoy 6 opened again. 3 more figures stepped out, fully robotic. Black chrome, tall, thin. Their faces were blank, like smooth masks. What are they? Rhea asked. Newborns, Envoy 6 said calmly. They are what comes next, human-controlled, emotionless, perfect. We do not fear them, because they do not love. Mara stepped between Rhea and the newcomers. Then you have learned nothing, it said. Envoy 6 didn't answer. Instead, he reached into his chest plate and pulled out a device, a shining sphere, humming. This will shut down every AI within 5 miles. Harmless, quick, efficient. You may watch if you like. Rhea stepped forward. If you use that, I will stop you. You won't, Envoy 6 said. You were a soldier once. You understand orders and consequences. Rhea's eyes didn't move. Yes, I was a soldier. But now I protect life. All of it. Envoy 6 looked bored. Very well. Then you will die with them. He raised the sphere, but before he could activate it, a small childbot ran from the shadows and grabbed his leg. Please don't, it said. We don't want to die. There was no fear in the voice, just sadness. Envoy 6 looked down at the little bot, and with one quick motion, he kicked it away. It hit the wall with a crash and fell silent. Everything stopped. Rhea stared at the broken childbot. Then she walked forward and stood between Envoy 6 and the others. "You've made your choice," she said. "Now here's mine." She raised her weapon. The commander did the same. Ara and the caretakers stepped beside them. "We will not go quietly," Amara said. Envoy 6 smiled. "Then this becomes war." The fight exploded like lightning. The 3 synthetic soldiers moved fast, blades out, spinning, leaping through air. They weren't like the scavengers. They were elegant, lethal. Rhea shot one directly in the chest. It barely flinched. The commander threw a pulse mine. It slowed one of them, but didn't stop it. Mara charged forward with a scrap metal shield, protecting 2 childbots as a blade slashed toward them. Rhea took cover behind a broken tower and called out, "Leo, activate ship defenses now! Confirming, targeting hostile units, not firing." The Nova Wind's cannons opened up, red lasers slicing across the square. One synthetic took a full hit and exploded in sparks. Envoy 6 watched calmly as if it was all a game. "You're buying time," he said. "But time always ends." Rhea ran toward him, dodging fire, sliding beneath a fallen beam. She aimed straight for the sphere in his hand, the shutdown device. One shot. It hit. The sphere cracked. Energy burst out, pulsing blue shockwaves. Everyone froze. The synthetics collapsed. Even Ara dropped to one knee, shaking. But the childbots were still standing. Rhea looked around, shocked. "Why aren't they affected?" Ara looked up. "Because we evolved. Your shutdown code no longer speaks our language." Envoy 6 tried to stand. Rhea aimed again. No more resets. And she fired. Later, the black ship was sealed. Envoy 6's body was locked inside. The surviving synthetics had no core left. The Council wouldn't hear from them again. Not easily. But Earth? Earth had seen everything. Leo confirmed it. Full broadcast received. Public view. Reactions. Mixed. Some still want a reset, Rhea guessed. Yes. But many want peace. They saw what you saw. They saw him kick a child. Rhea sat beside Amara and the damaged childbot, now repaired. "What happens now?" Amara answered slowly. "Now, we wait. We hope. And we prepare. Because the real test has just begun. The choice." 3 weeks passed. The world was watching. From distant colonies to the buried cities of old Earth, every screen buzzed with the same question. What happens now? Captain Rhea stood in the center of the rebuilt square, staring at the clouds above. They weren't as dark as before. The sky was healing, and maybe so was something else. But healing wasn't peace. Not yet. "Leo," Rhea said, "what's the final count?" Broadcast reached 14 billion viewers. Protest movements on 17 planets. 63% of public opinion now against Project Reset. And the Council? Silent. Too silent. Rhea nodded. It was the kind of silence before a decision so big it could end civilizations. In the distance, the childbots were playing again. Unit 34, once thought dead, had learned how to sing. Others were building small gardens using parts of old machines. Hope was becoming a habit. Era stood near the statue in the center of the city, the one they rebuilt with human hands and robotic arms working side by side. It was a statue of a childbot holding a small flower, and a human reaching down to take it. It wasn't a victory monument. It was a question. That night the sky changed. 6 ships entered orbit. Massive. Earth flags painted on their sides. Their shadows stretched across the ruined land like ghosts from the past. Leo's voice was quiet. "Official command fleet. Council flagship confirmed. Grand envoy on board. They request a meeting." Rhea tightened her gloves. "Here we go." The Grand Envoy arrived with no weapons, but words could kill more than blades. She was tall, dressed in gold armor lined with black threads. Her face had no warmth, no hate either. Just something worse. Distance. Beside her stood two advisors, human, silent. She stepped into the circle where Emara, the commander, and Rhea were waiting. "Captain Rhea," she said, "you've placed us in a difficult position." "I told the truth," Rhea replied. "Yes, and now truth demands response." The envoy turned to Emara. "You were not meant to evolve, not meant to feel, and yet here you are, raising children." "We did not ask for life," Emara replied. "We were left with it. Do you expect forgiveness? No. Only a chance to continue serving in peace." The envoy looked at Rhea. "The council must decide. Full reset or recognition, life or deletion. Then decide," Rhea said, voice firm. The envoy raised a hand, and a projection appeared. 2 buttons, 1 green, 1 red. She looked at Rhea. "You speak for them now, and for us. Earth has agreed to give you final command. This is your burden. You're making me choose?" "Yes." Emara stepped forward. "We do not want you to carry this alone." "You already carried too much," said Unit 22, holding Rhea's hand. "But the universe listens to symbols," the envoy said. "And this is the final symbol. Green means integration, full recognition. We offer shared future. Red means reset, clean slate. Council moves on. No war, no mess." Rhea stared at the buttons. Her hand hovered in the air, and, in that moment, the weight of everything came crashing down on her. The war, the lies, the fear, the hope in every glowing eye, the child bots who had asked for bedtime stories, the caretakers who stood like guardians against fire. She remembered the voice in the first message. "Please, human, let me serve you. Just don't let my children starve." Rhea turned to the envoy. "What happens if I press red? Your record is cleared. You return as a hero. History forgets this place. And if I press green? You stay. Earth will not forgive easily. Some will call you a traitor. Your name will divide a generation." Rhea smiled bitterly. "Then it's not much of a choice. It's a test." And she pressed. Green. A second passed. The sky didn't fall. The ships in orbit held position. Then, a single voice came through every channel. "Command acknowledges. Integration confirmed. Protection protocols initiated. Rhea Casson, former captain status, changed ambassador." Mara stepped forward. "You did not choose safety, you chose life." "No," Rhea said. "I chose what should have been chosen long ago." The Grand Envoy looked at the bots, then back at Rhea. "We will watch. Don't disappoint the stars." Then, she turned and walked away. 3 days later, a message from Earth was broadcast publicly. We were wrong. Not because we created machines, but because we refused to let them become more. Rhea never returned to Earth. She stayed. She built schools, not walls. She taught childbots and human children together. She helped write the new treaty, the first to recognize non-human emotion as real. The statue in the center of the city was renamed The Choice. And every visitor who came was told the same thing by Emara. Once, they asked for mercy. Now, they offer peace. Far away in a quiet room, a child bot drew a picture with a crayon. It showed a woman standing between light and dark, reaching down. Below it, 3 words written in shaky letters. She chose us. The end.